Guilty or innocent? What do you think? The Mackenzie Shirilla case is taking the internet by storm right now. This is Crime in Progress. Ever since the Netflix documentary dropped, people online have been completely divided over what really happened the night Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan lost their lives. But prosecutors laid this case out point by point.
I'm ticking through the potentials of what could have caused this crash.
First, they argued there was no malfunction with the vehicle.
What else would help explain this crash? Was something tampered with, or did the car malfunction in some way?
Investigators reportedly found no evidence that would explain the crash.
And then we got back the results from the forensic auto investigator, and that expert determined that the braking, the steering, tires, the acceleration were working properly. The car didn't malfunction.
Second, prosecutors focused heavily on toxicology results.
We sent Mackenzie's blood sample to a lab out of state because they do not, at our local lab, test for the psilocybin, for the presence of that in someone's blood.
Her blood sample was sent to an out-of-state lab to specifically test for psilocybin, the substance associated with psychedelic mushrooms, after mushrooms were allegedly found inside the vehicle following the crash. According to testimony, Mackenzie had only a small amount of THC in her system. And prosecutors argued there was no evidence she was under the influence to the point where she would not understand what she was doing.
This was not someone who was unfamiliar with driving under the effects of marijuana.
There was multiple videos of her smoking marijuana and driving that car.
But the biggest piece of evidence for many people was the black box data from the car itself.
Now we needed the information off of the event data recorder.
According to prosecutors, Mackenzie accelerated at 100% for the final 5 seconds before impact.
100% acceleration through the entire final 5 seconds. No service brake was deployed during that final 5 seconds.
No braking, no attempt to slow down, just full acceleration. But another detail from the case continues to fuel speculation online. Investigators reportedly found steering wheel movement during those final moments. And at one point, the vehicle shifted into neutral before returning to drive.
The data shows that around 3 seconds before the impact, there was some steering input, right movement, left movement, and then a hard right movement. It shifted from drive into neutral, back into drive again.
Which has led many people to wonder, did somebody inside the car realize what was happening? Could Dom have been trying to stop the vehicle from the passenger seat, trying to grab the wheel, trying to shift gears? And this is where the debate over her POTS diagnosis comes in. Mackenzie claimed she may have passed out before the crash, but prosecutors argued that fainting would not explain the gas pedal being pushed down at full acceleration. When someone loses consciousness, they typically lose muscle control, not press harder on the accelerator. And that argument convinced a lot of people this was intentional.
I always tell everybody that she has POTS.
The evidence all combines together to show this was not an accident.
Only 3 people know exactly what happened inside that vehicle, and 2 of them are gone. Now let's talk public reaction to Mackenzie's parents, Steve and Natalie Shirilla. A lot of the backlash from this documentary is aimed at the parents. People online think Steve and Natalie Shirilla are completely delusional when it comes to their daughter.
School records showed one incident after the next of disrespect to teachers and fellow students. You just get a general picture of someone who does not have a lot of adult oversight. Her parents would offer excuses for her behavior, and typically Mackenzie would walk away from those negative interactions at school with more freedom, less consequences, and her actions being completely excused away.
Even after hearing all the evidence, they still publicly insist she's innocent and that the crash was just an accident.
If any of you think that party situation is my fault, you can go yourself and leave my story right now. Yeah, because we let all you underage little inside our beautiful home just to do illegal things.
Am I a perfect parent? No. No one is. No one is. So, I mean, have I made some mistakes with my kids? Sure. It's life, you know?
But she wasn't a bad kid. She didn't really need to be disciplined a whole lot. You know, her worst is her mouth.
At sentencing, when Natalie Shirilla gave her statement to the court, even the judge basically called out the fact that she was talking far more about Mackenzie than the actual victims.
Your Honor, this was a terrible, tragic nightmare accident to have happened that she has no memory of, and she will never emotionally or physically recover from it.
I'm hearing an awful lot about your daughter. I'm not hearing very much about the 2 dead people.
And when Natalie continued insisting the crash was accidental, the judge responded epically.
I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never.
Well, we're going to have to disagree on that.
I understand.
Right.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That interaction with the judge added even more fuel to the backlash against the Shirillas. A lot of viewers walked away feeling like her parents have spent years protecting her from consequences instead of holding her accountable. And now, a TikToker called at Bougie Behind Bars, who claims she was incarcerated with Mackenzie, is also gaining attention online.
Oh, my name's Kat, and if you don't know, I was in prison with Mackenzie Shirilla.
She says the version of Mackenzie shown in the documentary is very different from the person she allegedly knew in prison.
When I was in prison with her, it was at the beginning of her sentence. And the Mackenzie that came on to the Netflix was not the same Mackenzie that I witnessed in prison.
She also shared personal opinions and allegations about Mackenzie's behavior while incarcerated, including claims about toxic relationships behind bars and her mom allegedly spoiling her with expensive commissary purchases.
And if you think Mackenzie going to prison was the end of her being in toxic relationships, let me tell you something. She was in like 4 in the short span that I was in there with her. In prison, Mackenzie's batshit crazy mother was funding her prison lifestyle and making it as comfortable as possible. So her family enables her like no other. They see no wrong. They're delusional.
All of this has added even more attention to a case that already has the internet completely split. So what do you think? Do you believe Mackenzie Shirilla is innocent, or do you believe she's guilty? Do you think someone inside that car knew what was happening in those final moments? And do you believe Mackenzie truly remembers nothing? This is Crime in Progress. Thanks for watching.